Will other countries, including South Africa, will try to replace the human with human AI robotics?
For starters, what should I call you?
I'm Chloe. And you, what's your name?
Oh, John. My name is John.
Delighted to meet you, John.
Could you tell us a little about yourself and what you can do, Chloe?
Of course. I'm the first personal assistant built by CyberLife. I take care of most everyday tasks like cooking, housework, or managing your appointments, for example.
And I understand you're the first android to have passed the Turing test. Could you tell us a little more about that?
I really didn't do much, I just spoke with a few humans to see if they could tell the difference between me and a real person. It was a really interesting experience.
But this is the first time in history that man has created a machine more intelligent than himself. I gather your brain can perform several billion operations per second. Is that right?
Absolutely. But I only exist thanks to the intelligence of the humans who designed me. No, they have something I could never have.
Really? And what's that?
A soul.
I don't know. What about in different kinds of sectors, in different fields in South Africa? What about in teaching? Probably. It is possible. It is possible for the country to implement, even to replace you. It is possible. Now, look at this. They say, Kerry reveals a human like a robot driven by AI, keen to show that its tech savvy extend beyond just cars. Kerry has introduced the world to a new bipedal robot driven by artificial intelligence. Listen to this. So now they try to reveal, Kerry CEO, they have revealed this AI from the conference in China, right? And then this is called, that's what it's called, and has a highly biomimetic design that mimics the shapes and movement of a human. Imagine. Now, when they continue, this is the news. Now they say the robot was designed in collaboration with AI Morga, a tech company which is very expertized in terms of designing and making the robots and any other artificial intelligences. Okay, so now a Mo9 will feature a human-like face made from life-like silicon that can move and mimic human oral and facial muscles. This is so insane. This is insane. Now they say this combined with its built large language model LLM means that the robot will able to answer questions, respond to instructions, and assist people in a natural and human-like way. Simply means that when you speak to it, it responds and answering the questions exactly that you're expecting it to, but in a way of presenting to you as like it's a human, but it's not a human, it's a robotic. Okay, now they say the robot could also act as a guide, receptionist, salesperson, and later version should be able to perform the role of a caregiver, nurse, or a domestic assistant. They have identified one of the departmental or one of the duties that people are mostly hired to. One, reception, which called receptionism or receptionist. Two, salesperson. Imagine the consultant savers. Thirdly, the caregiver, nursing, or a domestic assistant. This is hectic. This is insane. Now they say the company says M9 will develop its capabilities over the course of 3 main phases. I don't know what are those phases, but let's read. They say now phase 1, or the first phase, is that the robot will act as an information provider, interacting with customers to answer questions and provide information. While doing so, it will increasingly learn how to interact with women, learn different accent, conservations, styles, and a typical needs of a customer. That's phase 1. This is all phase 1. And the phase 1, I think we as women, we can beat it. And also, we are human. We act normal. We use our character. We use our norms. We use everything that we have. Okay. But the robot, they tried to replace those things that the human or the labor can do. Right. Now, phase 2, what is all about? They say the second phase, M9 will progress to use more of its advanced capabilities, such as the visual recognition, the autonomous navigation. This will include working with customers to assist them away from the shop, from the retailer, even in the banks, using its arms for demonstrations or other operations, and even helping customers with a certain task. So a third phase is that final development phase will see it use what it has learned to become a competent assistant to its human owners. This can include services such as child minding and education, assisting elderly customers with home tasks, and even cleaning and cooking for its owner. The last part, that they say they are launching M9. Kerry will celebrate the pioneers in the world of the humanoid robots, so such as the well-known Atlas of the Boston Dynamics, and show how it has used its extensive knowledge of customers' requirements, engineering, machine-human interfaces to take humanoids robotics to the completely new level, said Tony Liu, Deputy General Manager of Kerry, South Africa. Okay, so one of the important part that I've tried to come up with, the disadvantages and the advantages. What are the disadvantages and the advantages for? Is that I have tried to make my own research on how will this affect the South African economy, which are the advantages or the cons, but the pros of it, how we as the South African economy will try to benefit from it. What are the characteristics of having the human AI robotic? Okay, what are the characteristics of it? But I've tried to come up with it. So now, disadvantage number 1, or advantage, let's start with the advantages. So efficiency and the productivity. Now we're speaking about the efficiency and the productivity from our country. Now they say the AI robotic can work 24/7 without the break, leading to increased productivity and efficiency in production process. That simply means that the robot cannot get tired. That's the advantage for their companies, okay, not for us. We are humans. But for you as the manager, probably you're gonna hire it, or probably gonna buy in full price just to implement and giving it the daily duties that is presupposes to given to a human, but you're gonna give it to a robot. Okay. Secondly, the cost savings. While the initial investment in AI robotic may be higher over time, they can significantly produce labor cost associated with salaries, benefits, and human resources management. That simply means that the salaries and the benefits and any other cost that the business or the company spends to a human labor is now being invented to a labor AI robotics. You understand? Now, you as the CEO, the founder, the managers, when you buy the robot, you buy a robot in a way of saying, I am investing to my business. If I'm gonna buy this robot for $100,000, know that I'm going to I'm losing at the first, but ultimately I'm not, because the robot, I'm gonna use it for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years. Okay, so probably you spend a lot of money for a short period of time, but investing in a very long time period, because the robot doesn't get tired. Okay. Secondly, the cost are very, very low. Why I'm saying very low? Speaking about the salaries, the benefits, the human resources management, those things are being compiled together and spent lesser by a human robotics AI. Okay. Now, thirdly, I've made the research about the safety. The AI robotic can perform tasks in hazardous environment and conditions without risking a human safety, reducing workplace accidents and injuries. Okay. AI cannot make mistakes. Okay. It cannot make mistakes. If it drives a car, it cannot pass the robot when it's on a red light. It cannot. It can see that this red light tells me to stop, and I'm gonna stop the car. Okay, and then the green light tells me to go. It knows, it programmed. So the codings is the life experience life experience exposure. Okay, and number 4, the precision and the consistency. AI robotics can execute the task with high precision and consistency, leading to improve quality and reliability of products and the services. So AI is consistent from what it's doing each and every time, but you as a human, in most cases, you are not persistent. Okay, so these are the advantages to the companies, not to us as humans, not to us as employees. Okay, it is advantages. And lastly, I spoke about the innovation or innovative thinking or innovation and the technological advancement. Okay, the robot, you ask a question and then it gives you the answer instantly. Okay, but you as the human, when we as the shareholders, staff, go to the meeting and try to break it down, the ideas, we're thinking. It's like we're playing chess. Okay, we're thinking how we're gonna make this. But the robot is not even thinking. It knows, because it's coded. Alright, it's coded, it's technologically advanced. You ask a question, how can you solve this? And then it tells you how. right now, and you as a human, when you try to process it, after a minute or so you can see this robot speaking the truth. I can do this, and my business it can survive when I implement this, because it tells you the advancement, it tells you how to make it, tells you the strategies, it tells you the tips on how to make things to happen and to succeed. Okay, but when I come to the disadvantages, each and every economy will never survive. Businesses will survive, okay? Businesses, companies, organizations, they can survive. The managers, they can make a lot of money when they try to, let's say they are selling the robot of $25,000, okay? And you as a South African, $25,000 is a lot of money, but then you are risking. This is all about the risk, but you know, in the next 20 to 30 years, it guarantees my business will succeed. But it's a disadvantage to the economy, to each and every economy. I'm not speaking about only in South Africa, but in each and every economy in general. There's a disadvantage of the robot, and yet we are expecting a lot of it. We're expecting more of it, out of it. Okay. Disadvantage number 1, the job displacement. Okay? The job displacement. The widespread adoption of AI robotics may lead to jobless for human workers, particularly those in repetitive or low-skilled roles, potentially exacerbating unemployment and income inequality. Let me break down. The job placement, it simply means that you as the manager, the CEO, the founder, you try to buy the robots, let's say 10 of them, and then they work for you. They communicate with you, they do everything, they do the daily duties of a human that's supposed to be done by the human. But let's assume that you were hiring let's say at least 25 employees. You squish them over, you implement the robots. Now, disadvantage number 1, I break it down. You are increasing the unemployment rate. 1. Secondly, you are affecting the GDP, and you are affecting the equality in terms of the balance. Okay, if you as an employee or people who were employed on a specific company, they were now unemployed, they are unable to purchase the goods and the services. They are unable. Why they are unable now? Because now they are not receiving any salary whatsoever. But the robot is not receiving the salary, but is not contributing to the economy. And while it's not contributing to the economy, who benefits? The company and the managers, the CEO. The more they become richer and richer and richer because of it. Right, I'm gonna get into it, but let's skip to this. Number 2, skill gap. I said that the transition to AI robotics may require restraining and upskilling of the workforce to adapt to new roles and technologies, creating a skills gap that could hinder economic process. Most of the privates, if they try to implement this robot thing, they are going to cancel the internships, they are going to cancel the learnerships, okay, because they don't care. Okay, they don't even care right now if you are just working for them right now. They don't even care about you, how you feel. They don't care. Okay, the skill gap, if the robot is coded to do something, it will do something exactly as it was required to. Exactly as it was required. The robot doesn't have to go to school. But the person who's programming it takes 6 months or even lesser than that, even 1 month or 2 months to program it, just to program it. I'm not talking about the design, I'm not talking about the reflection, the body, the mimic. I'm not talking about that. The programming, the code. But you as a person, you as a labor, you are going to school for at least 4 years to varsity, or even 7 years to varsity, just to master the skill, just to receive knowledge, just to read books. But the AI is coded, and the way it's coded, the coding they are aligning with an internet, the Google. Speaking about the ChatGPT, it's speaking with you. Okay, speaking with you. I can't remember this model of Samsung where it speaks with you, and I saw even on iPhone. Okay, like those things are the robotics. They speak with you what you want. Okay, you can just pick it up your phone, tell your phone that call Sarina, and then the phone is calling Sarina without even touching the screen. Okay, the robotics, you instruct them, but it's not beneficial to the economy. It's beneficial to the businesses. Let us get this straight. It's beneficial to the businesses. It's beneficial to make people richer and richer and richer. Who are those people? The employers, the managers, the CEO, and the founders. Okay. It will be nice if they contribute back to the economy. Most of those companies. And these robotics, in most cases, they are from China. They are implemented from China. And then they try to export or to import those to other countries like South Africa. And that will devastate the economy. Right. Now, number 3, the dependence on technology. Relying heavily on AI robotics carry the risk of system failures, cyber attack, or technological glitches, which could disrupt operations and poses significant challenges for the economy. Number 4, ethical and social implementations. Deploying AI robotics raises ethical concerns regarding the treatment of machines, the autonomy of decision making, and potential for biased algorithms, leading to societal debates and regulatory challenges. Okay. Number 5, which is the last one, economic disruption. The rapid adoption of AI robotics may disrupt traditional industries and supply chain, leading to economic upheaval and uncertainty for businesses and communities reliant on those sectors. Okay. Now, if I can add on the disadvantages of the AI robotics in the economy is that the businesses will expand, but the economy will be under recession. Remember about the labor intensive unity or the labor capital. Call it the labor intensive or labor, call it something like a labor or something like that, something of labor intensive capital, something like that. But people who are working on an environment or in the company, when they get salary, they are not receiving their salary before deductions, but after deductions. Okay, speaking about the taxation, the government, whether you're working in the public sector or in the private sector, you will be taxed. Okay, you will be taxed. But when we're speaking about the AI, you implement the AI in the organization, in the company, it will never be taxed, because you're buying the AI or the human robotic once. This is why you say it's a disadvantage when it comes to the economy, because it's not contributing back. Okay, so we are taxed. We as employees, we are taxed. Okay, through the salary, we are taxed. Now, this is so hurtful. If the economists out here, the economists, they're trying to do their own research on advising the government. Okay, but it seems like the leadership is using their own naive to try to implement things that will never benefit back to the economy, but also benefit their own pockets. And it is so hurtful for the South Africans to think that when we invest to something that will not benefit back to the economy GDP will go down, the PMI will go down, the CPI will go down, because now people who were used to be employed in the private sectors or even in the government sectors will be unemployed and invent the AI human technologies. I'm not saying that the South Africans will try to do that and invent or implement those robotics in one of the departmental facilities like schools, hospitals, clinics, home affairs, even banks, which are the commercial banks. I'm not saying that, but we are making the assumptions of saying how it will affect the economy. And I hope that this message will be viral and will go out to the economists, to people who have money, okay, to leaders who make big decisions, more especially in the parliamentary system. And I will try by all means to post this video to different kinds of social medias, and I will try to make it trend. But then the AI is good, okay, but it's also bad. And if I can make the ratio between good and bad is 2 to 90. Let's speak about the financial banks and the domestic workers. Domestic work, how many people are working from the domestic? Who you as a person, you hire someone, umama, and then to work at home, okay? And then you are no longer needing the mother or the human. You're inventing the robot to work for you, okay? And then you tell it 5 o'clock, be up, and then wash, iron, do whatever. It will, because it's programmed. Pass on that. The financial institutions, okay, now as we speak in South Africa, or even across the world, we literally can take the phone, open up the online cell phone banking, and open up the bank account, and the bank account card will be delivered to exactly the address that you used on the account you created. And if I can unpack it, go down deeply, AI now is driving the car used to deliver the card. Secondly, the AI is used to design the card, to code, to make the account number, to know everything. Like the banking system now will affect the employment in South Africa. That will affect the balance equation. That will affect the purchasing power in our economy, and significantly and rapidly, by the way. So bad and so bad. And in other countries, they do have the robots, which are teachers in other countries out here, for which a robot is a teacher. And sometimes students go to school, sometimes they are not, because a robot is having a Zoom session with a student, and the student can ask the questions and the robot can respond back. This is like ChatGPT AI, the one that is premium, that is used to be paid, okay? Not this one, 3.5 version, not that one, but the real one that you can even interact with it, communicate with it. And I'm not intimidating teachers, okay? I'm not, but I'm trying to break down, to brainstorm the topic of having the AI in the country. And the companies that are in technology, they are devastating. They are devastating the economy. Why am I saying that? Because other people who have money and who are big controllers in terms of making the law, leaders and people who have power out here, they will take those things, whatever the robot that you're selling, and then they will resell it to other different kinds of departments, okay? Even in the government institute. This is so difficult. But anyway, let's try to be innovative. In most cases, if you are an employee working for the public sector or the private sector, working the 9 to 5, take the salary, invest it in your business. Learn yourself how to operate computers. Learn how to make an online business. It's gonna be difficult out here. It's gonna be difficult out here. People lost jobs way before the AI robotics. They have lost the jobs. They have, literally. So you think that the permanent is permanent. It's not. Okay? It's not. And it is so frustrating because some of these Chinese companies, when they resell it or try to make an international trade to other countries, selling those robotics things or some other products besides the robotics, they don't contribute back to the economy. Those money, or the money that we are buying from, going outside. It's going outside. and we will be unstable. We will be unstable financially. Pull strings, share the video, like it, share, comment. Will definitely try to respond your comments as much as I can. Pull strings SA signing out.